Assalamu alaikum. I'm Dr. Shehzad Latif. Our topic for today's lecture is just continuation of the previous lecture. It's the second lecture of diabetes mellitus, and we will start from just where we left the first lecture. It's the new step is diabetes education. Education of the diabetic patient is very important because if you advise any patient regarding diabetes management, but patient doesn't know how to take medicine, how to manage, how to control, how to monitor his diabetes, then it will be useless for patient to control or to manage his or her diabetes. And if patient unaware of his diabetes or diabetic complication, so that may bring a very disaster for the patient. So it's very important for the patient to educate the patient and to assess the education level of the patient regarding diabetes. So we will today discuss in this lecture complication of the diabetes and education regarding diabetes to the patient. So uh, because in third year our main focus is the history, so when you will start taking history you must focus over the education of the patient regarding diabetes. So ask about the diabetes control. When you will ask from the patient what is your diabetes control, what is your blood sugar level, so he will or she will answer you control is normal, control is high, control is low. But patient must know what is the normal level. Patient must know what is the lower level. Patient must know what is the high level. So you must educate the patient what is the target level of glucose, blood sugar level. That is much important than any high low level. So when a doctor or physician teaches patient regarding his blood sugar level, then he will manage more accurately or will monitor more accurately his blood sugar level. And moreover he must know about the HbA1c. So you must um, teach the patient, and not teach, basically you must explain the what is HbA1c, what's its role, and when he should go for the test for HbA1c. So education of the patient is very important. You will ask of the patient how you are doing your monitoring of your sugar level and how frequently you are doing your HbA1c level. So it's very important. Next step is that medication, timing of the medication. If patient is on oral hypoglycemic agent, you must ask about the timing of the patient, when he or she is taking medication, when he or she taking food, what is the timing, what is the, in short, what is the discipline of taking all these oral hypoglycemic medication. Is it regular or irrelevant? Like he is taking 8 a.m. in the morning, and second day he is taking at 7 p.m. So it's very important, is he taking with discipline, with regular time and meal uh, oral hypoglycemic drugs, or it's not uh, according to that specific protocol. And if patient on insulin, there are so many questions must be asked from the patient regarding storage of the insulin container, insulin syringe or insulin pen, if he is using refrigerator or any mud part, bringing to room temperature, what is the mode of transmission, method of mixing insulin, timing between meal and injection. Say patient taking injection at 7 a.m. but taking breakfast at 9 a.m. So there are 100% possibility of hypoglycemia. So ask about these parameter. What is the site and what is the rotation, where he is injecting insulin, over the abdomen, over the thigh, of the, or is he well aware of about the site of injection, or he's not much aware about this site of injection. So you must teach and when you are taking history, you must ask these questions from the patient about the site of injection. And of course, last is a technique of injection. How is he taking injection? Is it accurate technique, or he is well trained or not proper trained regarding injection insulin or using insulin syringe? Is he doing proper with taking angle, skin fold, bleb after injection, counting after injection by pen? Is if he is using that specific instrument called insulin pen, proper counting? If you advise 20 unit of insulin, is he or she counting 20 unit, or it's maybe 40, maybe 10? So ask all about this. And if using syringe, or also if pen, and regularly uh, changing insulin syringe, or regularly changing his disposable needle, it's all are very important to avoid all the complication and good monitoring of the uh, sugar levels. Then ask about the any episode of the hypoglycemia. First of all, patient must know what is the hypoglycemia. So you must tell the patient about hypoglycemia, and uh, teach every patient about symptom, what are the symptom of hypoglycemia, and what to do in that specific scenario, that specific situation. Patient must keep within uh, pocket candies, or any pockets of small pockets of sugars, or any chocolates, not chocolate actually, like any sweetener must be within the pocket of the patient, because patient may have a hypoglycemia. If patient well aware of symptoms of hypoglycemia, so patient may take that candy or any sweetener, so sweet eatable thing, which may take during the episode of hypoglycemia. So sick day rule is, he's well aware of fluid, sugars and ketone monitoring, and well aware of adjusting his insulin on, and uh, he is well aware of at which level and when to contact with his doctor or physician for management of diabetes. So it's very well important, know the patient about level and self managing of the, most of the patient must know how to manage his, if patient's sugar level uh, not much, 20, 40, 60 milligram per deciliter is high or downside, so patient must know how to increase the insulin unit or how to decrease the insulin unit, and if it's not working, then when to contact his physician or diabetics team. And well aware of the complication, you must ask in the history about the uh, complication induced by diabetes, like number one, hypoglycemia. Number two, that may be the hyperglycemia, that is the any blurring of vision, any foot problem, any skin problem, any all these complications we in already discussed in the previous lecture. So you must ask all the complication from the patient in your history. Any periodic monitoring for the complication. So patient must ask from the complication of the diabetes induced complication, must ask. It will be only answer patient by if he is regularly monitoring the sugar level, regularly monitoring some basic lab investigation, regularly monitoring HbA1c. If patient answering yes, he is regularly monitoring, yes, he is regularly doing his HbA1c level, then patient may give you answer regarding all these complications. So you must ask about these questions in history. And you must ask about the foot care, uh, top type of the socks, how is he wearing, and which type of the, because there are some specific socks are available in the market for the diabetic patient, because in regular socks there are some like elastic tightening over the upper end, so that may adherent, they may compromise the blood circulation, as patient having already compromised due to vasculopathy, due to atherosclerosis, compromised blood circulation, so it may add over worsening of the blood circulation. So patient must ask about the wearing of that specific sock. Is he well aware of diabetic socks, or he is not aware? So you must teach meanwhile, and meanwhile ask about this history. And Is he using proper shoes or proper joggers for walking, for exercise, or he is walking barefoot? So it may develop complication anytime in the patient, because just because complication of uh, vascular complication. So if patient is and next is ask about the pregnancy. Ask about the maternal or fetal morbidity and planning of the pregnancy, pre-pregnancy blood sugar level, HbA7, and contraception method. All are the very important for the management of or control of blood sugar level. Ask about any previous fetal or maternal morbidity or any complication during pregnancy, and what about the planning of the pregnancy, what's next plan for the pregnancy. Then patient must be very careful regarding control of the diabetes for planning of the pregnancy, because if control is poor, then there are many more chances of maternal or fetal both having development of any further complication just because of poor control of diabetes. So it must ask about previous and current situation of the patient and for the future planning of the patient, and must ask about the HbA1c level, and must advise HbA1c level, and any uses of contraceptive methods. Next is an important step is in the history for a diabetic patient is the personal history. Personal history is very important. If you are asking from the patient regarding history, always ask about the type of the food which he is taking, including calories, including carbohydrate, including protein, including sugar or sweetener, which are mostly commonly diabetics are using nowadays. So it's very important to ask all about the, and if patient non-vegetarian, mostly using meat, so ask about milk, uses of milk, artificial sweetener as we already discussed, any food exchanges, adequate amount of fruits and vegetable is he or she taking, and which type of the fruit is it, much sweeter or less sweeter fruits. There are some fruits patient diabetic patient may take easily, but some fruits are with limited amount, but and other fruits may take with the again with the exclusively avoid these type of the fruit. So always take a history of this fruit, amount of oil and ghee used per month per member of the family. So it's very important to avoid atherosclerosis and any dyslipidemia, uses of the oil, and ask about the physical activity, what is his or her workplace leisure activity and exercise pattern or walk of the patient per day. So uh, all about give up current status of the diabetes blood sugar level in diabetic with blood sugar level, and may show you the further future complication and future possible complication in the diabetic patient. And with taking proper this history, you may modify his lifestyle, his personal lifestyle may you modify, you may advise him the patient. So it's very important to take a detailed personal history of the patient, especially in diabetics. So next one is the family history. Family history is equally important as family personal history important. uh, Generation affected, like his mother, father, grandfather, grandson. Ask about this, how many people are in the family are affected with diabetes. Earning member of the family, because it's a very important, especially in our setup, because everything is in the capitalism must purchase by person own self. So it's very important earning hand of the patient, family, financial support, any special financial support by the state, by the any person or any family member, because oral hypoglycemic drugs and insulin are little bit costly. If patient has a financial crisis not to bear the um, cost of these drugs, so it's very difficult to maintain his compliance regarding taking medication that may worsen the blood sugar levels, and of course that may worsen the uh, diabetes level, and there are so many chances of developing complication due to poor control of diabetes. So it's very important to ask about the financial support of the patient and emotional support from the family. It's very important. If patient is diabetic, and there are some many chances to develop a stress. So stress is a very important in diabetic patient to control the blood sugar level. If patient has a high level of stress, so there are chances of hyperglycemia and moreover hypoglycemia. So always ask about the any stress, and what is the like our combined family system. Is there any support of the family, financial, moral, and physical support as well? Yes, it's a very important. Incorporating lifestyle changes in the younger family member. So it's very important to assess what about the lifestyle, what about his family lifestyle. It will give you a overall status of the diabetes in diabetic patient. So family history, family lifestyle of other member is very important. Next is a social history. Social history is in our setup a little bit very important, but in West maybe it will not help you so much, but you must ask about all the social history in the diabetic patient in our setup. If patient is type 1 diabetes on insulin, ask about the pattern of the school, working, if not in school going, if he or she is working, then pattern of the working, stressful, physical activity, how many hours working, which type of the physical activity, exertional, stress. So all about very important in this setup. Information to a responsible person regarding the disease. It's very important for the responsible person, who is the responsible person for that specific diabetic person. In usually in the type 1 diabetes, you must ask about the responsible person, who is responsible for any hypoglycemic episode, any hyperglycemic episode, any complication of the diabetes. So is if school going students or teacher or any class fellow must know about all these things. If he develop anything anytime, so that responsible person is well aware of all of that and must contact as soon as possible with the doctor or the family member that may timely take him to hospital and take him to the medical facility for the good management. And because in our setup transportation and it's a very big issue, so always ask about the transporting, which is patient using transport, is his job, his school or his institute, because if he's on type 1 diabetes, so he must carry his insulin within him. So it's a very important to ask about the storage of that insulin must within ice pack, and at workplace there must be a some refrigerator to store at the optimum level of the insulin. So it must ask about the any difficulty of these type of the, because it's very important. We every day suffer these type of the difficulties. So many patients having no refrigerator even at the home, and so many working places have not refrigerator, and so many our setup, so many difficulty over the road, over the transporting system. So it's very important to ask about these parameters from the any diabetic patient. Any stigma regarding injection insulin and checking blood sugar level in workplace. So patient reluctant, patient having a fear of complication, patient having any problem regarding insulin injection, or any availability of refrigerator, as we discussed, any availability of other like diet, because patient must take diet within some half hour, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, take a meal after injection. So it's very important, is it all these feasibility or parameter are available at the workplace or at the school. So social history is important in this context in the diabetic patient also. Other significant comorbidities very important in diabetic patients. You must ask in the history, is there any hypertension, is there any dyslipidemia, any history of smoking, any history of depression, any obstructive sleep apnea syndrome is called also Pickwick syndrome, any hypogonadism, eh, all having equally important, because diabetic patient within time may develop these complications, or with these complications patient may develop diabetes. So you must ask about if patient having diabetes and or one of these all are having a complication, so there are more chances of developing morbidity and mortality of the patient. So must ask in the history all these parameters from the patient. And sleep apnea syndrome, it's a very important disease. It's a must ask from the patient, because if patient sleep is not comfortably and not sleeping like saying sound sleep, then there are many chances of developing hyperglycemia, poor control of diabetes, many chances of developing comorbidities like hypertension, dyslipidemia, and other ischemic heart disease, complication of heart or vascular disease. So sleep apnea must ask from the patient, is there are three S common question asking from the patient, is there any surrounding any sleepiness, any significant other history of apnea. So must ask this. Must ask regarding depression, any there is a very simple question for assessing the depression, any sleep problem, any rest problem, any crying spell, any suicidal thoughts or attempts. And what about the relation with your family, with your friends and your colleagues, all are helping question to assess the level of depression. So in the summary, history taking is an important art to be learned to practice the science of medicine. Establishing good rapport with the patient is essential. In a patient with diabetes, history taking aim at getting diagnostic clue as well as guiding in management decision. So uh, not in third year, in fourth year, in final year, even because after graduation, history is very important in every disease, but in diabetic patients more important. In the history you may make a pet final accurate diagnosis and accurate assessment of complication, and it will help you manage further accurately with the management of comorbidities, complication, if you have a detailed or accurate history. uh, Further, there are some part in the diabetic patient is a physical examination, very important, because there are some complication are associated in diabetic patients. So you must ask, you must examine the patient, 2 3 parameter for assessing our chances of complication. Anthropometric measurement, height, weight, BMI, waist circumference and neck circumference. General examination, uh, never to omit, because it's a very important, you must do a general GPE. And if patient diabetic, must follow these points. Number one, peripheral pulses must assess, postural drop, NBP must check, examination of the footwear always must, you examine the foot and examine the skin and nail, and of course genitalia, any erectile dysfunction, any balanoptitis in female, testicular atrophy, if suspected, hemochromatosis, always examine all these parameters. This is the proper way to assess the waist circumference in every diabetic patient. Waist circumference should be measured at level of midway between the lower rib margin and iliac crest, with the tape all around the body in horizontal position. Neck circumference equally important, much important in the diabetic patient to assess the complication of chances of complication. This is the proper way to assess the neck circumference. A neck circumference greater than 16 inches in a woman or greater than 17 inches in a man correlate with an increased risk of obstructive sleep apnea and of course complication of in diabetic patients. BMI, more than 25 gram per meter, overweight if more than 30 kilogram per meter cube is called obese. It's everybody know it about in the we general physical examination discuss all everything. And waist circumferences, male may in male patient it should be less than 102 centimeter. In female it should be less than 88 centimeter. Or if we will discuss waist hip ratio, in male it should be less than 0.95 low risk, more than 1 very high risk patient developing dyslipidemia, developing metabolic syndrome, developing complication of diabetes induced. So in female less than 0.8 it's a low risk, more than, if it's ratio more than 0.85 it's very high risk patient. Skin problem in diabetes is very common. Sometimes you may easily make a diagnosis just on examination of the skin. So 30% of the patient have some skin problem. You must examine in detail skin of the patient. This is acanthosis nigricans, very common observed in a diabetic patient. You always assess, always check this. And grading of acanthosis nigricans is again like super specialty, more advanced. Must assess first acanthosis nigricans, then you may grade it. Again, it's over the dorsal aspect of the finger. It's right side is over the. I will try to with using a cursor. It's a axillary, and this is over the dorsal aspect of the hand. Next one is some scleroderma diabeticorum. Again, specific for diabetic patient. If you can appreciate with cursor, this is the point, is called scleroderma diabeticorum, specific for diabetic. So must assess it while you are doing a skin examination. Vitiligo, because if patient having autoimmune disease common with diabetes, not common but it may be present with diabetes, always assess. Diabetic dermopathy, complicated, poorly controlled diabetic patient having these feature, always assess, always examine. And other one is a chiroarthropathy. Patient cannot straight your hand, his hand or finger. So check this by assessing this way. Other systemic examination very important, equally important as you will do other examination. We already one by one discussed all the system, but more focus for the specific complication we already discussed in detail in the first and second lecture. So you must, if in diabetic patient, you must focus over the during systemic examination these part of the examination. Number one is using ophthalmoscopy. You will examine the fundus of the patient. It's a normal fundus. Again, it shows some complication. This is complication, and this is hemorrhage and fundus. Again, some specific hepatomegaly, renal artery bruit, respiratory system complication. So all you will do in systemic examination, but more focus in diabetic patient, all these examination. It's all about the diabetes, just in context of history and examination. So you must be well aware of all these questions, all these parameters when you will take a history or examination of any diabetic patient. Moreover, patient having presenting complaint of respiratory system, but having diabetes also, or having ischemic heart disease and having diabetes also. So you must focus equally as you are doing with the primary complaint. So having diabetes, more focus same as a primary complaint over the diabetic patient. It will give you complete detail and complete assessment of complication, and make a good and accurate diagnosis. It will help you of course for the good and excellent management of the patient of his diabetes and management of complication. If you have any question, most welcome, you may ask anytime. Thank you very much. Hopefully we have discussed all about the lecture of the medicine. I will discuss with Sir Professor Tariq Saab. If having any other, then in the next week we will add that lecture. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.